Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Listen and Learn English. I'm Emma, and I'm so happy to have you here with us again today. Whether you're listening while drinking your morning coffee, driving to work, cooking dinner, taking a walk, or simply relaxing at home, thank you for choosing to spend some of your time practicing English with us.
Hello, Emma, and hello to all our wonderful listeners around the world. It's Tom here, and I'm really happy to be back. I hope everyone is having a great day, or at least a day with good coffee. Sometimes that's enough.
Tom, we've been here for about 20 seconds and you're already talking about coffee.
20 seconds without coffee is a very long time, Emma.
All right. How are you today?
I'm doing really well, actually. A little tired, but good. How about you?
I'm great. I had a surprisingly peaceful morning today. I woke up earlier than usual, opened my bedroom window, and I could hear birds singing outside.
Did you just use one of today's words?
I did.
Everyone, she's starting the lesson before officially starting the lesson.
I couldn't help myself. But yes, I said I could hear birds singing outside. I wasn't trying to pay attention to the birds. I simply opened my window and the sound reached my ears.
Interesting, because my morning was a little different. When I woke up, I made breakfast and listened to music while I was cooking.
There we go. We already have both words. I heard birds. Tom listened to music.
And that little difference is exactly what we're going to explore today.
But wait, Tom, what kind of music were you listening to?
Something energetic. I needed help waking up.
How energetic.
I was making eggs, listening to music, and pretending my kitchen was a concert stage.
Please tell me you weren't dancing while holding a frying pan.
I can neither confirm nor deny that.
Tom.
Okay, maybe there was a little dancing.
And how did the egg survive?
The eggs were fine. My dignity suffered a little, but the eggs were excellent.
Well, that's the important thing.
What about you, Emma? Other than hearing the birds, what happened this morning?
Well, after I got up, I made some tea and sat near the window for a few minutes. At first, I could hear different sounds around the neighborhood. I could hear a car driving down the street. I could hear a dog barking somewhere in the distance. I could hear the wind moving through the trees. And then I heard something strange.
Something strange.
Yes, I heard this little tap, tap, tap against the window.
Oh no.
Why oh no?
This is how scary movies begin.
Tom, it was 8 o'clock in the morning.
Scary things can have morning schedules too.
Anyway, I stopped what I was doing and listened carefully. There it was again. Tap, tap, tap. So I walked toward the window.
And?
It was a tiny bird standing outside.
That's it?
That's it.
Emma, you built that story up like there was a mysterious stranger at the window.
Well, the bird was technically a stranger.
Fair point.
But everyone, did you notice something important in that story? At first, I said, I heard a strange sound. Then I said, I stopped and listened carefully. Those two sentences are not exactly the same.
And that's the heart of today's lesson. At first, Emma didn't choose to hear the sound. The sound simply reached her ears. She heard it. But after she noticed the sound, she intentionally paid attention. She listened.
Exactly. And by the end of today's complete lesson, we want that difference to feel natural to you.
Before we continue, a small favor.
But before we go deeper into today's lesson, we'd like to ask you for one small favor. If you enjoy learning English with Emma and Tom, please take a second to like this video.
That little like may seem small, but it really helps our channel reach more people who are trying to improve their English.
And if you're new to Listen and Learn English, we'd love to have you again with us. So please subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell.
We make lessons designed to help you improve your listening, speaking, vocabulary, grammar, and everyday conversational English.
And don't forget to leave us a comment. Actually, let's give everyone an easy question right now. What can you hear around you at this moment? Maybe you can hear traffic. Maybe you can hear people talking. Maybe you can hear music. Maybe you can hear a television. Maybe you can hear absolutely nothing because you're sitting somewhere very quiet.
Or maybe you can hear your neighbors singing very badly.
Tom!
What? It happens.
Well, if that is what you can hear, perhaps don't mention your neighbor's name in the comments.
Good advice.
All right, everyone, now let's officially introduce today's lesson. Our topic is I hear versus I listen. What's the difference? When should we use hear? When should we use listen? Why do we say, can you hear me, but please listen to me? Why do we say, I heard a strange noise, but I listened to music, instead of listen the teacher?
Those are excellent questions, because hear and listen are connected to the same sense, our sense of hearing, but they describe different experiences. Here's the easiest way to begin. Hear is a sound reaches your ears. You don't necessarily make an effort. For example, right now, if someone outside suddenly honks a car horn, honk, you might say, I heard a car horn. You weren't sitting there thinking, I would really like to pay attention to a car horn now.
Hopefully not.
The sound simply reached your ears. You heard it.
But listen is different. Listen means intentionally pay attention to a sound. For example, if I put on an English podcast because I want to improve my English, I can say, I'm listening to an English podcast. I intentionally choose to pay attention.
A simple conversation. Let's make this natural. Emma, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you perfectly.
Good. Now listen carefully.
Okay, I'm listening.
I'm going to tell you something very important.
I'm ready.
You owe me $5.
What?
Wait a minute. For what?
I don't know. I just wanted to test whether you were listening.
Well, I definitely heard that.
Perfect. And everyone, notice how natural those sentences are. Can you hear me? The question is whether my voice reaches Tom's ears. Then listen carefully. Now I'm asking him to actively pay attention.
Here's something really interesting. Sometimes you can hear someone without really listening to them.
Oh, yes. Parents know this one very well.
Imagine a mother talking to a teenage son. She says, please clean your room before dinner. The boy's staring at his phone. She says, did you hear me? He says, yes. Then an hour later, the room is still a disaster.
So he heard her, but perhaps he wasn't really listening.
Exactly. The sound reached his ears, but his attention was somewhere else.
And sometimes the opposite problem can happen. You may be trying to listen, but you can't hear clearly. Imagine you're on a phone call in a very noisy place.
Hello, Emma?
Tom, can you hear me?
I'm trying to listen, but I can barely hear you. There's too much noise here.
That's a great real-life example. Tom wants to pay attention. He's trying to listen, but because of all the background noise, he can't hear my voice clearly.
And this distinction is especially useful for people learning English. For example, you might say, I listen to English every day. Maybe you listen to podcasts, conversations, audiobooks, or videos. But sometimes you might say, I can hear the words, but I don't understand everything.
That's such an important part of language learning. At first, English can sound very fast. You may hear the sounds without recognizing every word. But the more you listen carefully, the easier it becomes to recognize common phrases, pronunciation patterns, and natural expressions.
That's why listening practice is so valuable. Don't worry if you don't understand every single word. Listen for the main idea. Listen for familiar expressions. Listen to the same conversation again, and gradually your ears become more comfortable with English.
Let's try something. Everyone, think about your environment right now. Don't change anything. Just notice the sounds around you. What can you hear? Pause. Maybe I can hear a car. I can hear people talking. I can hear music. I can hear the air conditioner.
Now, choose one sound and intentionally focus on it for a few seconds. Now, you're listening to it. That's the difference in real life.
Exactly. First, you hear the sound. Then, you listen to the sound.
So, before we finish stage one, let's give everyone a very simple memory trick. Ear equals sound comes to you. Listen equals you give attention to the sound.
I love that. Sound comes to you, hear, you give attention, listen.
Emma, I think I understand.
Good.
So, if you're talking and I'm thinking about pizza, I can hear you, but I'm not listening to you.
Exactly. Wait, why are you thinking about pizza while I'm talking?
I was only giving an example.
Tom?
I was only giving a very realistic example.
Now let's focus on our first word, hear.
And here's the easiest way to remember it. Hear equals a sound reaches your ears naturally. You don't necessarily decide to pay attention to it. You simply notice the sound.
Exactly. For example, imagine I'm sitting at home reading a book. Suddenly, a dog starts barking outside. I might say, I can hear a dog barking. I wasn't trying to listen to the dog. The sounds simply reached my ears.
Here are some very common examples. I can hear music outside. Can you hear me? I heard a strange noise last night. I can't hear you very well. Did you hear the doorbell? I heard someone calling my name.
Notice something important. We normally don't use to after hear in these examples. We say, I hear music, not I hear to music. A short conversation. Tom, did you hear that?
Hear what?
That noise outside.
No.
Listen for a second.
Pause. Oh, now I hear it. It sounds like someone is knocking.
Exactly. At first, I heard the noise naturally. Then I asked Tom to intentionally listen. After listening carefully, Tom could hear the sound too.
So that's a great example of both verbs working together.
Now, let's quickly look at the verb forms. Hear, heard, heard. Today, I hear music. Yesterday, I heard music. Present perfect, I've heard that song before.
Be careful with the past tense. We don't say I heard. We say I heard.
One of the most useful expressions with hear is, can you hear me? You'll hear this all the time during phone calls, online meetings, or conversations in noisy places.
For example,
Tom, can you hear me?
yes, but not very clearly.
What about now?
Yes, I can hear you perfectly now.
Yes, I can hear you perfectly now.
Emma, yesterday I heard someone singing very loudly while I was walking down the street.
Were they good?
Well, let's just say they were very confident.
That's a very polite answer.
I could hear them from half a block away.
Maybe they were practicing for a concert.
Or frightening the neighborhood cats.
Tom, complete these sentences with hear or heard. Can you blank me? Pause. Hear. Can you hear me?
Next, last night I blank a strange noise. Pause. Heard. Last night I heard a strange noise.
And one more. I can blank birds outside. Pause. Hear. I can hear birds outside.
So remember, hear equals a sound naturally reaches your ears. You walk outside and hear traffic. You wake up and hear birds. Someone calls your name and you hear them. The phone rings and you hear it.
You don't necessarily choose these sounds. They simply reach your ears. And in stage 3, we'll focus on listen and learn why we say, listen to me. I listen to music, and she is listening to the teacher.
And we'll finally explain why that little word to is so important.
We learned that hear usually means a sound naturally reaches our ears. Now let's talk about our second important word.
And the easiest way to remember listen is, listen equals intentionally pay attention to a sound. When you listen, you're making an effort to focus on what you're hearing.
Exactly. For example, every morning, Tom plays music while making breakfast. So, Tom, what do you say?
I listen to music every morning.
Perfect. You choose the music and intentionally pay attention to it. That's why listen is natural. There's one small word that English learners should remember. When something comes after listen, we usually use listen to someone or something. For example, listen to me, listen to the teacher. I listen to music. She listens to podcasts. We listen to the radio.
So don't say, I listen music. Say, I listen to music. And don't say, listen me. Say, listen to me.
A natural conversation. Tom, are you listening to me?
Of course.
What did I just say?
You said something very interesting.
Tom, you could hear my voice, but you weren't listening.
Okay, I got you. I was thinking about lunch.
Again?
Learning English requires energy, Emma.
That's a creative excuse. But everyone, this is a great example. Tom could hear me because my voice reached his ears, but he wasn't listening because he wasn't paying attention.
Here's a very useful example for everyone learning English. You can say, I listen to English every day. Or, I listen to English podcasts. I listen to English conversations while driving. I listen carefully to native speakers.
And this is a great habit. Even if you don't understand every word, regular listening helps you become familiar with pronunciation, vocabulary, and natural sentence patterns. Listen carefully. Another very common expression is, listen carefully. A teacher might say, listen carefully, I'm going to explain something important. A friend might say, listen carefully to this song, or someone might suddenly hear a strange sound and say, wait, listen.
Like this. Emma, listen.
What?
Can you hear that? My stomach. I'm hungry.
Tom, that's not the listening practice I had in mind. Let's practice. Complete the sentence. I blank to music every evening. Listen. I listen to music every evening.
Next, please, to the teacher. Listen. Please listen to the teacher.
And one more. Yesterday, we blank to an English podcast. Listened. Yesterday, we listened to an English podcast.
Let's finish with our simple rule. Ear, hear. The sound comes to you. Headphones, listen. You intentionally give attention to the sound.
For example, you suddenly hear music coming from another room. Then you stop what you're doing and listen to the music.
First you hear it, then you listen to it.
Exactly. Now we understand hear and listen separately. Let's put them together and see exactly how they're different.
And our simple rule is still, hear equals a sound reaches your ears naturally. Listen equals you intentionally pay attention to a sound.
Imagine Tom and I are sitting in a coffee shop talking. Suddenly, I notice music playing in the background. Tom, can you hear that music?
Yes, I can. It's very quiet.
Listen to it carefully. I think I know this song.
Oh yes, I know it too.
Perfect. At first, we could hear the music because the sound reached our ears naturally. Then I asked Tom to listen to it, so he intentionally focused his attention on the music.
Hear someone versus listen to someone. This difference becomes especially important when people are talking. Imagine Emma is explaining something to me. I can hear her voice, but maybe I'm looking at my phone and thinking about something else.
Tom, are you listening to me?
Yes?
What did I just say?
Something about English?
Exactly. You heard me, but you weren't listening to me.
That's a dangerous sentence when someone is talking to you.
Very dangerous. So remember, I can hear you means your voice reaches my ears. I'm listening to you means I'm paying attention to what you're saying. Imagine a classroom. The teacher is speaking and a student is sitting in the back. The student can hear the teacher, but he's thinking about lunch.
Why is everyone in our lessons always thinking about lunch?
Mostly because of you, Tom. The teacher might say, please listen to me carefully. The student could hear the teacher before, but now the teacher wants him to pay attention.
Here's another example. Imagine I'm at home late at night. Suddenly, bang, I hear a strange noise downstairs. I stop moving. Then I listen carefully.
What do you hear?
I'm not sure. Listen, pause. There it is again.
Maybe someone is downstairs?
Emma, please don't say that.
Maybe it's just your refrigerator.
Oh, yes, it's the refrigerator.
Another mystery solved.
But notice what happened. First, I heard a strange noise. I didn't choose to hear it. Then I listened carefully. I intentionally focused on the sound.
Here's another very useful situation.
Hello, Emma. Can you hear me?
Barely. There's a lot of noise around you.
I'm at the train station.
I'm trying to listen, but I can't hear you clearly.
Let me move somewhere quieter. How about now?
Much better. I can hear you clearly now.
This is a great example because you can be trying to listen, but still have difficulty hearing because the sound isn't clear enough.
Music example. Imagine you walk into a restaurant. There's music playing. You say, I can hear music. You simply notice the sound. But if you stop talking and focus on the song, you can say, I'm listening to the music.
So the same sound can move from hearing to listening depending on our attention.
Exactly. Quick practice. Let's choose hear or listen. 1. Can you blink me?
Hear. Can you hear me?
2. Please blink to me carefully.
Listen. Please listen to me carefully.
3. I blinked a loud noise outside last night.
Heard. I heard a loud noise outside last night.
Let's make it very simple. Hear, the sound comes to your ears. I hear music. Listen, you give your attention to the sound. I'm listening to music. Or imagine someone calls your name from another room. First, you hear your name, then you stop what you're doing and listen to what the person wants to say.
Sound comes to you, hear. Attention comes from you, listen.
Perfect. We compared hear and listen. Now let's practice them in some natural, everyday situations.
This is important because when you're speaking English, you don't want to stop every few seconds and think, should I say hear or listen?
Exactly. The more you hear these words in real conversations, the more naturally you'll use them. Situation 1, at home. Imagine it's Saturday morning. I'm making breakfast and Tom is sitting at the table. Tom, did you hear that?
Hear what?
I think someone knocked on the door.
Wait, let me listen. I don't hear anything.
There, did you hear it?
Oh, yes, now I hear it.
Can you check the door?
Why me?
Because I'm cooking.
Convenient excuse.
I heard the knock naturally, then Tom intentionally listened to check whether he could hear it too.
Situation 2, in the car. Now imagine Emma and I are driving somewhere. Emma, do you want to listen to some music?
Sure, put on something relaxing.
How about this?
Oh, I've heard this song before.
Really?
Yes, but I've never really listened to the lyrics carefully.
Then listen to this part. The lyrics are beautiful.
Oh, you're right.
See, occasionally I have good taste.
Occasionally?
Hey,
I'm joking. Here, we have another useful difference. I've heard this song before. That means the song is familiar to me. But I listened to the song carefully means I intentionally paid attention to it.
situation 3, at work. Now we're at work and Tom is explaining something to me. Emma, listen to this idea. I think it could save us a lot of time.
Okay, I'm listening.
First, we organize everything in the morning and then...
Wait, can you hear that strange sound?
What sound?
Listen.
Oh, yes, I hear it now.
I think it's coming from the printer.
That printer always sounds like it's preparing for takeoff.
It really does.
Notice that Emma first heard the sound while I was talking. Then she told me, listen. She wanted me to intentionally pay attention to it.
Quick speaking practice. Let's practice together. Complete the sentences. Can you blank me?
Here, can you hear me?
I like to blank to music while driving.
Listen, I like to listen to music while driving.
Last night I heard someone blank at the door.
Heard, last night I heard someone knocking at the door.
Please blank to what I'm saying.
Listen, please listen to what I'm saying.
So we remember, hear equals the sound reaches your ears. I heard the phone ring. Listen equals you intentionally pay attention. I listened to the message.
Or think of this little situation. Your phone rings, you hear it, you answer the phone, then you listen to the person speaking.
Simple.
And now we're going to look at some common mistakes English learners make with hear and listen.
So basically, this is the part where I make mistakes and Emma enjoys correcting me?
Exactly.
I knew it.
But mistakes are useful. When you understand why something is wrong, it becomes much easier to remember the correct expression.
Mistake 1. I listen music. Okay, Emma, how about I listen music every morning?
Very common mistake. We usually need to after listen when we mention what we're listening to. So say, I listen to music every morning. Other examples, listen to me, listen to the teacher. I listen to English podcasts.
So, listen likes having its little friend, too.
That's one way to remember it.
Mistake 2. What about can you listen me?
We have two possibilities depending on what you mean. If you want to know whether my voice reaches your ears, can you hear me? If you want someone to pay attention, can you listen to me?
Ah, so these sentences have different meanings. Right.
Can you hear me equals, is my voice clear enough? Can you listen to me equals, can you pay attention to what I'm saying?
Mistake 3. Here's another one. Yesterday, I heard to music while driving.
Nope. If you intentionally played music and paid attention to it, say, I listened to music while driving. We don't normally say hear to music.
So, listen likes having its little friend, too.
That's one way to remember it.
Mistake 4. I listened a strange noise. Last night, I listened a loud noise outside.
If the noise suddenly reached your ears, say, I heard a strange noise outside. Then maybe you stopped and intentionally paid attention. I heard a strange noise, so I listened carefully.
That's a great sentence because it uses both words. First, I heard it. Then, I listened carefully.
A quick correction challenge. All right, everyone, try to correct these before Tom does. 1. I listen music every day. Pause.
I listen to music every day.
2. I heard to a podcast this morning. Pause.
I listened to a podcast this morning.
3. Last night I listened a loud noise outside. Pause.
Last night, I heard a loud noise outside.
4. Listen me carefully. Pause.
Listen to me carefully.
Perfect. So far, we've learned the rules, practiced everyday conversations, and corrected common mistakes. Now we're going to learn through a couple of short natural stories.
This is one of my favorite ways to learn English, because when you hear words inside a story, they're much easier to remember.
Exactly. And while you're listening, pay special attention to hear, heard, listen, and listened.
Story 1. The Strange Sound at Night. All right, I'll go first. A few months ago, I was home alone late at night. It was around 11:30, and I was sitting on the sofa listening to some quiet music while reading. Everything was peaceful. Then suddenly, bang! I heard a loud noise coming from the kitchen. I immediately stopped reading.
Oh no.
I turned off the music and listened carefully. For a few seconds, I couldn't hear anything. Then, tap, tap, tap. I heard another sound.
Were you scared?
A little. Okay, maybe more than a little.
What did you do?
I slowly walked toward the kitchen and stopped near the door. I listened again. Then I heard something moving. At that moment, I was thinking, Tom, this is exactly how every bad decision in a scary movie begins.
So what was it?
I turned on the kitchen light and discovered that a bag of potatoes had fallen off the counter.
Very dangerous potatoes. That story gives us a perfect example. Tom first said, I heard a loud noise. He wasn't waiting for the sound. It naturally reached his ears. Then he said, I listened carefully.
So I heard something. The sound reached my ears. I listened carefully. I intentionally paid attention.
Now it's my turn. Last year, I took a long train journey to visit a friend. When I got on the train, there were many sounds around me. I could hear people talking, I could hear children laughing, I could hear announcements over the speakers, and somewhere behind me, I could even hear someone snoring.
Maybe that was me.
You weren't on the train.
Details.
Anyway, after about 20 minutes, I put on my headphones and started listening to an English podcast. The conversation was really interesting, so I listened carefully. Sometimes the train became noisy and I couldn't hear the podcast clearly, so I turned the volume up a little. After about an hour, I realized something funny. The person sitting across from me had been trying to talk to me. I removed my headphones and said, I'm sorry, did you say something? She laughed and said, yes, but you were listening to something.
You were a very dedicated listener.
Apparently.
Emma could hear many sounds around the train naturally. People talking, children laughing, announcements over the speakers, and somewhere behind them she could even hear someone snoring.
Exactly. But I chose to listen to the podcast. That's the important difference. Hear equals sounds reach you. Listen equals you choose to pay attention.
Let's make it even simpler. Imagine you're sitting at home. Suddenly, you hear music coming from outside. You think, that sounds familiar, so you stop what you're doing and listen carefully. Then you realize, oh, I know this song.
First, you heard the music naturally. Then you listened to it intentionally. Now it's your turn. Answer these questions out loud. Number 1, what can you hear right now? You might say, I can hear cars outside.
Number 2, what do you like listening to? You might say, I like listening to music. Or you might say, I like listening to English podcasts.
Number 3, what did you hear this morning? For example, I heard birds outside my window.
And one final challenge. Make a sentence using both hear and listen. For example, I heard a strange sound, so I stopped and listened carefully.
Excellent. We've finally reached the last stage of our lesson about hear versus listen.
We've learned the rules, practiced real-life conversations, corrected common mistakes, and even survived some very dangerous potatoes.
I knew you were going to mention those potatoes again.
They were an important part of my life, Emma.
All right. Before Tom starts telling the whole story again, let's review what we've learned. Let's begin with hear. Hear equals a sound reaches your ears naturally. You don't necessarily choose to pay attention. For example, I can hear music outside. I heard someone knocking at the door. Can you hear me? I heard a strange noise last night.
And remember, hear, heard, heard. I hear something. I heard something yesterday. I've heard that song before. Now let's review listen. Listen equals you intentionally pay attention to a sound. For example, I listen to music every morning. Please listen to me. She is listening to the teacher. We listened to an English podcast.
And don't forget the important little word, listen to, plus someone plus something. We say, listen to me, listen to music, not listen me, listen music.
Imagine Emma and I are sitting at home talking. Suddenly, knock, knock, knock. Emma, did you hear that?
Yes, I think someone knocked on the door.
Wait, listen carefully.
There it is again.
I heard it that time.
Perfect. First, the sound naturally reached our ears, so we heard it. Then, we intentionally paid attention, so we listened.
Final quiz. All right, everyone, let's see how much you remember. Choose hear or listen. Question 1. Can you blank me?
Hear. Can you hear me? Question 2. I blank to music every evening.
Listen. I listen to music every evening.
Question 3. Last night I blank a strange sound outside.
Heard. Last night I heard a strange sound outside.
Question 4. Please blank to the teacher carefully.
Listen. Please listen to the teacher carefully.
Excellent. Tom, you got all 4 correct.
Of course, after all stages, I would be slightly worried if I didn't.
Fair point.
Before we finish, remember these 2 simple ideas. Hear. Sound comes to you. You unexpectedly notice the sound. I heard a noise. Listen. Your attention goes to the sound. You intentionally focus on it. I listened carefully.
So imagine you're sitting quietly at home. Suddenly, you hear something. You become curious. You stop what you're doing and listen carefully. That's the difference. And remember, everyone, learning English takes time. You don't need to memorize every rule in one day.
Listen to English regularly. Repeat sentences out loud. Practice speaking even when you're alone. And don't be afraid to make mistakes.
Every time you listen to English, your ears become more familiar with the language. At first, you may hear the words but not understand everything. Then, little by little, you start recognizing more words, more expressions, and complete sentences.
And eventually, you'll notice that you're not translating every sentence in your head anymore. You're simply understanding English.
Thank you so much for spending your time with us today on Listen and Learn English. If this lesson helped you understand the difference between hear and listen, please like this video. Your like really helps our channel reach more English learners.
And don't forget to subscribe to Listen and Learn English for more friendly English conversations, grammar lessons, listening practice, vocabulary, and everyday speaking exercises.
And before you leave, write 2 sentences in the comments. 1 sentence using hear and 1 sentence using listen.
For example, I can hear birds outside. I listen to English every day.
Keep listening,
Keep practicing,
keep speaking.
and keep enjoying your English journey.
We'll see you in our next lesson.